Oh, I totally forgot to message. Okay. Hold on, guys. I totally forgot to message everybody. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't send out a text notification. My mind is just all over the place. Just breathe. Okay, so right now I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for the people who find themselves on this video without any Pisces in their chart, without dealing with a Pisces, whatever it is. If you find yourself here and you're resonating, then the message is for you. So let me start pulling some cards, okay? We're just going to start playing some cards. I asked the collective energy of Pisces what this reading was going to be about, and I was told, let's do it. I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe I should shift this a little bit so that way you guys can actually see my face. Does that work? Better? Yeah, it's better. All right. Okay. So while I'm playing the cards, you guys have been so amazing supporting me and my family as we try and support my brother. We are currently just over $18,000 gifted. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's been slightly over 48 hours, maybe like 53 hours or so since I first created the GoFundMe. The amount of support we've received has been amazing. Amazing. Thank you guys so much. So Pisces, what are we going to do? What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? All right. We're getting ready to receive messages. Ooh, okay. This is getting good. I'm already getting some feelings off of this. Okay. A lot of things are being hidden. A lot of things. I'm wondering if they're emotions. I'm wondering if it's people's thoughts, plans, whatever it is. Something's being hidden. Don't necessarily feel like it's negative. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Hidden away. Things appearing to be different than what they actually are. Pisces, we're so good at like making people feel as though everything is fine when everything is not fine. Everything is possibly like falling apart. You're hurting, yet we put on this brave face. So I'm wondering if this is something to do with what you're feeling inside versus what other people are feeling towards you, okay? This might be something that is more internal than it is something outside of you. All right. Here we go. Final deck. Dude, your boat's clean. Still going at it. I don't know where it is, and I can hear it. Let me stop. All right. Ooh, okay. Oh my God, I flicked it on myself. All right. So this card definitely had to come out. This is about illusions. I saw it at the bottom of the deck. And I was told to pull it out. And I was like, no. If it comes up, then it's meant to be. Came up. All right. So the first card number 35, strength. Sorry, I'm shaky. Card number 35, strength. So many of us think strength is something that we just suddenly come across, and it's not. Strength is something that accumulates over your lifetime. The more very challenging circumstance you experience, the higher the potentiality of your strength. Okay. So strength is definitely something, if you're trying to achieve higher levels of strength, just know it takes some time to get there. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. This is a cumulative thing. It's not something where you're just suddenly going to wake up and you're strong. Okay. When you go to the gym, if you haven't been in a long time or you've never been at all, can you suddenly start lifting the type of weights that a bodybuilder lifts? No, you can't. You have to build up to it. You have to do your part. You have to commit. You have to go through whatever challenges you go through, and eventually you'll get there. Now, this is something that's important to point out as well. I'm being told proper form is important. When you're lifting heavy weights, even when you're lifting lighter weights, if your form is not proper, if you're just forcing yourself to do it, if you're just trying to rush through so that you can tick off how many reps you've done, you're probably going to injure yourself. Okay? You're probably going to seriously injure yourself. And that's something you're choosing, because the ego is what's running this program of, I need to look strong when you're not actually strong yet. It's okay to not be strong yet. You don't have to look strong. It looks ridiculous when you try and be something that you're not actually already are. Now, this is different. Trying to be something that you aren't already is different than you trying to encourage yourself, believing that you are. That's totally different. Totally different, okay? Trying to act like you're something you aren't is all about ego. This is all about creating some sort of brand that you're selling to other people. I mean, is that all you are? A brand? Inauthentic brands don't last. They don't. They're flashes in the pan. They might blow up really big, really fast, and then usually they disappear just as quickly as they arrived. Is that all you are? A novelty? Is all you are an indication of what's popping right now, what's new, what's hot right now? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, for me, my goal is to just be as authentic as I possibly can be, where I don't have to try. I just am. And the process that I'm in is not about trying to be more myself. It's about letting go of my own perceptions of who I think I'm supposed to be based on what I think other people want to see from me. It's crazy. What's even more crazy, before I shared what's going on with my family, I was really thinking to myself, like, man, see, if I had just stopped being a total brat and like giving people attitude all the time and just play the game like I know it's supposed to be played, I would have a shit ton of viewers. I would have a shit ton of subscribers. And then I could really do something and really help my brother really fast. And then it dawned on me, and you guys helped me understand this. I don't have a huge following. I don't have a huge sub count. What I created with you guys is so much more potent than that. This is an actual community. Like, because I was thinking, man, I need to stop just like banning people who are rude in the comments, banning people who, feel nasty to me. And because I do. I do. If I feel some parasitic stuff, nope, I don't want none of that. Because I don't need a sub count. This is me sharing space with you guys. And that's what creation is asking you to do right now. Just do it. Just share space. Doesn't matter how many people are there. What matters is the quality. You guys, I've had so many people like feeling so badly, like, I emptied out my bank account. I will get paid again next week. Stop. You've already shown so much love and support. I don't care if you emptied it out of $20, $5. That's more than enough. The fact that you support, the fact that you want to help, not having much, that's so much more than someone who drives $120,000 car and dropped $100. Like, That's chump change for that person. I'm still grateful. But were they struggling to help? No. I mean, I'm still grateful that they helped. But for those of you who feel like, oh, I was only able to give $5, that's huge. That's huge. And it goes so far in helping me to understand what I've created with you guys. Not created myself, but created with you, with your help, is a community of people who basically are like the next level of human consciousness, where you guys feel the same way I feel. It's not just my problem. It's not her problem. This is our problem. How are we going to fix this? How are we going to stabilize this situation and empower? That's freaking huge. See this comment right here? That's the 5th account that has been used to stalk me, to try and intimidate me. Let me just screenshot this for legal purposes. And let me go ahead and ban you again, you crazy ass motherfucker. Anyways, so let's go back to the whole strength thing. Strength is something that's accumulated. Sometimes it's what you experience. Sometimes it's what you kind of cultivate with other people through opening yourself, being vulnerable, allowing people to come in and see and just really experience your authentic self. That helps to build strength. And that helps to build strength because at times where you feel like you're not strong enough to stand on your own, what ends up happening is they stand there with you. They don't necessarily have to carry you. Sometimes just their presence helps you to stand strong, helps you to stand straight. And that's kind of what's important. So the moon, card number 32, the moon. 3 being the number of a solid foundation, 2 being the number of guidance. You're being guided as you sit upon a solid foundation. Now is the time for you as a person, as an individual, as a member of a collective whole. Now is the time for you to release your fear of people recognizing your needs, people recognizing your vulnerabilities, people seeing the truth of who you are. Okay? Who I am is who I am. There's no difference between me online and me in person, except maybe I'm a little more quiet in person because I don't really have to talk in real life. Oh God. Yeah. So the truth of who I am, though, is just you get what you get. This is me. Sometimes I'm a little bit closed off and quiet, and sometimes I'm not. It's just who I am. You're allowed to be who you are. If who you are is a very emotional person, as though emotion is bad, as though emotion is something to be ashamed of, then you're emotional. That means you have the ability to feel so deeply, okay? To feel so deeply. Hey, Daddy. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Let me just leave that alone. All right, card number 41, bring it into form. Really bring it into form. Allow yourself to walk towards the greatness that you already are. Okay. This process that you're in, it's not about trying to retrieve something you don't already have. The process of ascension, of enlightenment, is nothing more than the process of remembrance and acceptance. Remembering who you are and allowing yourself to accept this. You come from greatness, okay? You are an amazing person. Every single one of us are. Whatever has happened in your life to convince you that you're not, let that shit go. Let that go. Don't join the groups of people who are trying to tear you down, trying to convince you something that's not your authentic truth. Don't join that group. You will never have a shortage of people who will do this to you. Are they bad people? No. They are gifting you with an opportunity to choose yourself, to recognize your growth, to recognize your worth. Let's do it. Recognize it. That's a part of your ascension, okay? You're not trying to be something you aren't already. What you're trying to do is shed the very things that have caused you to believe something outside of what is your truth. Many things in my life tried to convince me that I'm a bitch. I can be, but am I? No. I'm a very loving, very patient person. Very loving, very patient, very supportive. If I act like a bitch to you, it's one of two things. I'm having a bad day, and you have given me an excuse to release some of my anger. It's not right, but sometimes that happens. And when I recognize that, I go back to you and I talk to you and I apologize. The second thing is, that's the reaction you deserve. That is what you're trying to get out of me, and so that's what I give you. And that's just that. But am I a bitch? No, I'm a very loving, very patient, very empowering person. And what you get from me is highly contingent on how you treat me. And I'm not here to just be triggered. I'm stating a fact. Depending on how you treat me, I will choose to exercise one of two options. Do nothing or do something. Whatever I choose, that's what I choose. And I have to live with that consequence of what I choose. Causation and effect. I am very well aware. Whatever I choose will always have an effect. I always choose the cause and I always live through the effect. And that's perfectly fine, because everything that's happened in my life has taught me so many beautiful things about myself, has definitely added to my sense of strength, my sense of self. And the fact is this: most people don't realize the whole process of ascension is nothing more than the recognition of your strength, because your strength is yourself. You are your strength. We live in societies that try and tell us you are not allowed to be you. Why? I've been told my whole life I'm not allowed to be me. I'm too masculine. I'm too aggressive. I'm too mouthy. Sometimes I just got to be quiet. I'm sorry, but I can't. And then when I'm too quiet, you need to talk more. I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm just going to be who I am at this point. And if people don't like it, they can find someone else to treat like a doll, to treat like their own personal entertainment. That's not me. I'm recognizing my view on myself has been skewed. I'm not a court jester. I'm the queen. Bottom line, I am not the court jester. I am the queen. You will not tell me what to do, but I will hold myself accountable for times in which I inadvertently hurt someone else's feelings. But I won't apologize for being a queen. And you guys shouldn't apologize for being the royal in your life. No one else should be placed above you. At highest, they should be shoulder to shoulder with you. That is the most appropriate place for people to be. Shoulder to shoulder with you. Walking side by side. So, card number 28, Bountiful Harvest. You are the one cultivating what you are harvesting. People can plant seeds all they want. Seeds upon seeds upon seeds, all sorts of nasty type seeds. Those seeds don't do anything without you tending to them. Without you watering those seeds, without you tending to them, preparing the soil, providing what it needs, those seeds will not grow. Okay? They just will not grow. So people have said so many different things about me, and people have stopped telling me what others say because I really don't care. I'm just like, oh, okay. Okay. Are you going to do something? No, I don't have time. I'm working. And so people have stopped telling me, but people will say whatever they want to say. Is it the truth? I don't know. I don't have time. I know my truth. I know my path. I'm too busy growing myself and helping other people to care about the opinions of peasants. Just fucking around. I'm fucking around. Card number 30, Serendipity, merge with the flow. You have to merge with the flow of your life. Okay. If your life is trying to take you down a smaller stream that's much slower, and you're over here like, no, I need to go to a big river, and no matter what, everything goes back to the ocean. Eventually, it finds its way back to the ocean. Flow with it. You never know. You might need that rest right now. You might be being slowed down for a reason to help accumulate more energy, more strength for something huge that's just down the line. You don't know what your soul has planned for you. And unfortunately, no matter how much you try and plan, no matter how many contingencies you take into consideration or plan out to kind of like force a specific result, your soul will override that. Like, honestly, your soul will override that. And you're just going to be left feeling very frustrated and very helpless. You will never win a fight against your soul. If your soul wants you to slow down and you don't, you know what happens? A major catastrophic event in your life will happen to slow your ass down. And if your soul needs to knock you on your ass to slow you down, it absolutely will. It absolutely will. Done to me several times already. So now I'm like, okay, you want me slow? Okay. Now I'm just going to sit here. So card number 8, traveling. You are traveling through rough terrain right now. Okay. This rough terrain is what's going to help increase your strength. If you constantly have to climb mountains, are you going to remain weak? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You will gain strength through that struggle. As the terrain continues to challenge you, then you definitely will continue to rise to that challenge. Okay. Definitely. Yeah, an honest person is the most hated person. Honesty does not mean that you're mean. Honesty means you have the courage and the willingness to share truths. A lot of people don't like that. But I don't care. I care about you. I don't care about you not liking to hear the truth. If you don't like to hear the truth, you know, there's people who will lie to you. You're not going to find that here at all. So card number 36, differences. You have so many different aspects within yourself. You have the black cat and the white cat. And you know, there's that Native American story of like the dark wolf and the light wolf. And, you know, you have to feed. Oh, it's a stork. Do you guys see it? It's a stork. Okay, I'm sorry. You have a darkness and a lightness in you. You don't feed one over the other. I used to hear that Native American story about the 2 wolves inside you, and which will you feed? If you leave one to starve, the one that's left starving will always fight to survive. It will fight to survive. It has nothing left to lose. If you feed both, they both love you. They both seek to protect you, to keep you from harm, to really add to your growth. When you allow your light and your shadow, I'm sorry, it just came from right there. When you allow your light and your shadow to be equally important, equally present, your soul then has the ability to bring forward that which is necessary in that moment. It is not wrong and evil to have shadow aspects. It is not wrong or evil. Some people would bring religion into this. Okay. They would bring religion into this and say like, oh, so now you are cohorts of demonic things. Well, let me tell you this, Mr. or Mrs. Religion. If God created everything and demons exist, that means God created demons. So you're either going to believe that God knows what it's doing, or it's made a fatal flaw, made a fatal mistake and created demons. And now demons work for God too. Demons work for God too. Please, let's stop that right now. They help to bring to fruition the very things that cannot be done in the light. Oops. The moon. Moon is lunar energy, dark energy, shadow energy. It is merely 1/2 of a whole. So all this shadow talk about how shadows are evil, shadows are bad, yada, yada, yada. I don't think so. Maybe your shadow, but not mine. I mean, you could believe that about yourself, but my shadow has helped me get through quite a bit of life trauma, quite a bit of times where my light just would not cut it. Does that mean I've harmed people? No. That means I've allowed my shadow, which contains much of my power, to rise up and defend me. You want to fuck with me? Let's see what happens. That's my shadow talking. You want to fuck with me? Let's see what happens. Is that a threat towards you? No, that's a declaration that I will defend my space. You will not have your way with me, so pick a different victim. One that's easier for you to dominate, because you're not going to dominate shit here. My shadow is front and forward, giving texture and nuance to my light. What are these animals? It was like something was laughing. It was a big ass bird. Okay. So I was raised very, very religious, like devoutly religious. You guys have heard me say this before. For so many years of my life, my goal was to become a nun. I wanted to become a nun. That's how devoutly religious I was. And my belief in the divine hasn't changed. The expression of that belief, the application of that belief, the maturation, the process of my soul maturing has taken my faith and allowed it to ripen into knowing, into gnosis. All of my needs are provided for. I'm not talking about monetary. If I need to learn something in my light, I refuse to learn it in the light, darkness will be sent to me to teach it. Does that mean demons are teaching me? No. That means dark things are allowed to give me fucking hell in life, to really, really cause my struggle, to break me in ways that have been resistant to the lesson. And as I'm broken, I'm further prepared to learn. Hi. Are you going to protect me from the animals?
I'll protect you from anything.
What's up? Are you just going to be out here?
No, I walked all the way from the room and I love what you were saying.
Oh. Anyways, he came out here just to tell me he loved what I'm saying. Okay, card number 19, shift your energy. This is what's needed. A shift in energy. A shift in the way you see the world, the way you see your life, the way you see the things you're living through. Now, I have not a lot, but some who come to me, especially for parasitic extraction, and then they come back and they're like, I still have the problem. I told you. You have to shift the way you see your life. You have to shift your mindset, or it will come back. If your mindset has openings, pathways for parasitic things to use, to access you, to drop your frequency and enter your field, those doors are left open. I can extract everything, but they'll come right back in. As soon as I'm done, they'll come right back in. And that's the thing. I can't help that. That's not something I can take care of. That's not something I can fix. Until you shift the mindset, you will continue to get breached. And at that point, I cannot get paid enough to expose myself to that kind of shit over and over and over. So I'm sorry, I cannot help anymore. When you do shift your mindset, those doors close. Parasitic things' ability to reach you, to access you, will be taken away. If your ego is what's used to enter you, ego meaning either you're being encouraged to behave in a malicious way to try and prove you're better than, more powerful. If you don't shift that, you'll get breached again. If your ego functions in such a way where when it flares, you feel less than, you feel hopeless, you feel powerless, it will go ahead and trigger you and use that to re-enter. This doesn't mean don't feel anything. This means allow yourself to be fully present in your life. And as you experience things, you then begin to pause. Is this my thought? I was just happy. Why would I think that I'm nothing? Oh, that's because you're being manipulated, because parasitic things are using mimicry, the sound of your voice, the manner in which you speak, your vernacular. That's being used. If you're happy, if you have no care in the world and suddenly anxiety, oh my God, might not be yours, might not be yours. So you have to pause. Instead of just reacting and being so easily manipulated, pause. How many times have I had this thing where I'm just chilling and then suddenly, ooh, I don't like someone. And I'm like, bitch, you don't even know them. Stop. Stop. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't even know them. Why would I say that? That's so funny. Oh, that's right, because parasites, they try. It's very hard to breach my field because I'm of the mindset at this point, I don't give a shit what people say about you. Until you do that fucked up shit to me, that's all hearsay. That's all hearsay. I don't need to participate in that. If people are talking shit about you, someone's telling me, oh, you're a thief. You always steal. I'm not going to assume you're a thief, but I'm not going to leave you alone with my things either. I'm not an idiot. But does that mean I think you're a thief? No, it means I don't trust people to begin with. I'm not going to leave you alone with my freaking, valuables. But I don't leave anyone alone with my valuables. So maybe that's a thing. Maybe we're leaving people alone, questionable characters, alone with the valuable things in our lives. And the most valuable thing in your life is your mindset. Who's being left alone in the garden of your mind to plant whatever they please? Is that something you've considered? That you have left people alone in the garden of your mind, planting whatever seeds they please in the cover of darkness. Here's the thing about darkness. People get so afraid of the dark. When you allow yourself to be immersed in complete darkness, after a few minutes, your eyes will adjust. It'll begin to produce some sort of fluid. I was told this when I was a child. It'll begin to produce some sort of fluid that helps your eyes to dilate a little bit further and you can see in the dark. I went to science camp, 5th grade. It was in Occidental. We were left in the forest. And at night, we had to hike on a trail with our eyes covered for about 30 minutes. It took us to this huge football field atop the forest. Then we took our blindfolds off and we could see. And maybe that's a thing. Maybe your fear of your own shadow is what's blinding you. Dropped Legos all over the floor. You're wicked. You're wicked. Okay, card number 31, miracles. Miracles happen every day. Every day miracles are occurring, but we choose to believe that it's coincidence, like all sorts of different things, all sorts of different excuses, explanations as to why divinity doesn't exist, as to why, there's just not any way that this could have been some sort of divine intervention, divine anything. Divinity exists. It really, really does. I've experienced both sides of the track, being extremely religious and being so far removed from religion that I can now see the truth of divinity. Miracles happen every day. Sometimes the miracle can be in a catastrophe, hidden away in a catastrophe where you think your life is over, you think everything is falling apart, what the fuck. But in reality, in that deconstruction, in that destruction, the chaos, everything is falling into place. Everything is falling into place. How many people do I know that needed to slow down? They needed to live life differently, not because they were bad people, but because they were traveling so fast down the wrong path, not the path of their truth, not the path of their purpose. They're traveling so fast down this road and their soul can't get them to stop. And so their soul builds a brick wall and they crash right into it. And they experience so much destruction in their life. Either failure of business, massive health problems, basically loss of everything. And it's a hard thing to experience, but all of that distraction is then stripped away. You're then able to see clearly, you know what? I can't do that anymore. I have to now do this. This is what's right for me. This is what grows me. This is what helps me fulfill my soul purpose. That was unnecessary. I see that now. And so sometimes, even when you experience extreme health problems, You have to look behind what this is. You have to look past the human limitation of trying to interpret what this means. Oh, it's because I didn't do this. It's because I didn't do. No, 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 no. No. You're being redirected. This is your chance to really step into your truth and fulfill your soul's promise, this oath you took to do something, say something, be something that will further the human evolution. And many of us don't see that. I had to go through some crazy ass shit to get to this place. Yo, I did. And I knew it. And that's why it went much longer than it needed to, because I was like, oh, it'll be done. I just have to learn something. It'll be done. So card number 17, what is already with you? What's already with you is your greatness. Everything you need to experience in this life, it's already with you. Okay? It's just a matter of time before you come across the people, the experiences that you need to further develop, further ripen your consciousness. It's already with you. This is not something outside of you that you're trying to attain. The answers to the questions that you seek, every single question you will ask in this life, the answer is already within you. And if you don't have the willingness or the ability to hear yourself, then people are brought to you, or you are brought to people who are able to verbalize the very thing that you refuse to acknowledge already going on within you. How many of you, when I say things, you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm going through and I just couldn't verbalize it. Well, ta-da. There you go. Ta-da. All right, card number 28, sacrifice. So what can you let go of? Let go of the things that are pulling you down. I mean, that's a no-brainer to me. Let go of the things that are pulling you down. When people come back into your life who came from a place of toxicity, like, exes. Okay, so yeah, you might have really loved that ex. You guys broke up. That was a place where you were in your mind and in your heart very toxic, or they were very toxic. Let that shit go. Okay, they're an ex for a reason. They're an ex for a reason. I don't even stay friends with exes. I just don't. I don't have very many exes, but I don't. Is it because I hate them? No, I wish the best for them. But I already learned what I needed to learn with you. And so have a beautiful life without me there. Okay. Some people might be like, well, I'm still friends with all my exes. Well, bravo. Seriously, bravo. I'm very sensitive to my environment. And if that ex comes back and it takes me back to a place of toxicity within myself, yeah, I don't need to be friends with you. But if you guys can not get pulled back to the old place of toxicity, the one that you existed in when you were together, then there's no point or there's no need for you to cut them out. I'm just talking about people, if you can't discern this yet, you shouldn't have them around you. Okay? If you can't discern it yet, don't have them around you. I haven't developed enough to be able to not go back to a place of toxicity that existed when they were in my life. So yeah, I don't need that around me. I'm moving forward. I know what I can handle. I know what I can't. I know what's going to trigger me to behave in ways that I don't want to behave. Yeah, I don't need to prove anything. Because some people will do that to prove that they've grown. Do you need to prove anything? If you still need to prove things, then you haven't grown as much as you thought. If you still continue to drink from the same pond that was toxic 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and you go back there and you still drink from it, you haven't learned. And maybe those people are coming around to help you learn to choose yourself. Maybe they're being brought back around to help you understand how much you've changed since they were in your life. And I mean, the reason for people coming back into your life is different for everyone. Just because I choose to stay away and not be friends with any exes doesn't mean you have to do what I do. Card number 8, letting go. Oh my God. I 8. Okay. So letting go. That ties into everything I was just saying, where it's like, if it's just going to take you back to a place of toxicity, you're not obligated to remain friends with anybody. You're just not. And people be like, oh, Emmie is just that bitch because she just thinks people are disposable. No. I don't think people are disposable. I think that they have served their purpose in helping me to learn this very, very, very difficult lesson of self-love. And me choosing to not allow you back is not me disposing of you. It's me appreciating what you helped me to learn the first time you came around, the last time you came around. I'm not wasting your time on me again. Your time is more valuable to me than that. I've already learned what I needed to learn from you. And now you are free to help other people learn whatever you're going to help them learn, either through your toxicity or through your healed wounds. You help them learn that. You've already given me enough. You've already given me enough. It's time for me to walk forward in my life without you present. And it doesn't mean anything about hatred. It doesn't mean anything about disposable people. None of that. And I don't need to explain that to anyone else. I have my reasons. If I don't return messages, I have my reasons. It's not always a negative thing. It's not always because I'm pissed at you, because you're toxic to me. Sometimes I'm just busy and I don't have to explain that. The people who you constantly have to explain things to about your existence, because you simply exist the way you do and you have to explain that. That's just not. It's just not. Card number 41, belonging. House of Night. You belong to two houses, one of darkness and one of light. Both houses can shelter you during inclement weather. When you have storms within your life, both these houses can be your shelter. Only if you allow it. Only if you allow it, okay? Shh. Why is everybody getting all hyphy this morning? Okay, card number 34. Illusion. Illusion. Card number 34. 3 being a solid foundation, 4 being the self. When you combine a solid foundation with a self, you get completion. 7. So there are so many illusions that need to be broken in this life. Every single one of us have a different set of illusions that we are working through. I'm about to ask him if his dog's okay. You're rallying up the whole neighborhood, buddy. Card number 30. That's not my baby. My baby's in the house. I'd be like, girl, you better shut your mouth. No, my dog's been barking since yesterday. She's in the house. I'm like, who the fuck are you even barking at? Demons. No, I'm joking. Card number 30, the perfection of your life. Perfection of your life. So many of us think that our life is so flawed and so horrible and all these things. And so we hide it away. We hide away everything. We try and get people to pay attention to the gilded portions while the other more important aspects of us burn. Why is that? Hi, Ivo. Why is that? Why is that? When you have a need, a true need, that need needs to be tended to. When you allow a fire to just continue burning, it destroys oftentimes way more than it actually should. Way more. It creates such devastation. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes what's burned away are the structures, the old thought patterns that no longer serve you. But this is a very real thing that most of us do, where we allow people to only see what's considered good, what's considered accomplished, positive, and totally hide the very things that actually need our attention the most. I'm totally guilty of this as well. I make it a point to not share too much of my like really personal life. And that's just kind of how I function. It's not because I'm ashamed. I'm just private. But when does that privacy become something that should be respected? And no. When does that need to respect the privacy become something that is interfering with your ability to receive the help that you need? And that's something you have to really consider. You have to really, really consider that. You know, going back to what's going on with my family and my brother's needs, I I'm sure he didn't want me to share all of that. He's very private as well. And before I went live, I told him, I'm starting a GoFundMe and it's going to be a little ugly. I'm going to have to be honest and really show what's going on and share what's going on. And like, I respect your privacy, but our family needs help. We need to help you. We need to support you through this. You're not just going to go home without medication and like live for a few days and then keel over. We have to do this. And he like begrudgingly, okay. And when I told him in the first 2 hours how much was already gifted, he's like, what? Wow, that many people care? And I was like, yes. And then it didn't take long for him to be like, this is fucking embarrassing. And I was like, it's not. To let people know that you're at a point where you've been strong this whole time and shown strength this whole time, and suddenly now you need. That's not embarrassing. It's real. It's raw. It's honest. It's your truth. You should never be embarrassed of your truth. He's working through it. I'm like, I don't care. Do you need the medication? I don't care. I don't care what people think. And you know, it's one of these things where, although it's very difficult, it's helping him learn so much more than just, you know, addressing the need, the current medical need. It's about realizing so many people support you, love you, value what you do. Because like I said, he and I, out of all of our siblings, and all of our siblings are amazing, he and I are the most similar. We have the most similar heart, where we help people quietly. We don't tell any of this and any of that. We just do it because it's right. It feels right. And for him to be able to see as his life crumbles around him, because this is going to change his life forever, he's able to see the effects of everything he's done. And you guys, all the ways in which you view me, where it's like, Emmie, you represent this, and this in my life, and you've helped me and you've changed me. All of these people who are part of his work, they say the same things about him. I'm like, see, I told you. And he's like, this is crazy. And I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, it goes to where many of us who are empathic and live this way, where we help because it's right, it goes into this mindset of, you know, these people don't have money like that. Like, tell them to stop. I can't. Because this is their way of repaying you for the ways in which you saved them from themselves. More than just helped with physical things, physical struggles, you've saved them from themselves, from their own pain. And I see the reflection of this. It's an amazing thing that's happening right now. This ability to learn in such a way that really elevates your understanding of your place and your purpose in this world. It's huge. It's huge. It's card number 10, open your heart. It's time for you to open your heart to receive the very support that you continuously give other people, expecting nothing in return. You have to just open your heart. You have to allow yourself to receive. Allowing yourself to receive is not equivalent to you taking. And I used to make that same mistake where I thought that if people give to me, then I'm taking from someone else in need. And that's just not how it is. That's not what's actually going on. You're not taking. You're allowing yourself to receive the very things your soul is bringing to you. You're not taking from anyone else. You're just not. Card number 16, embrace oneness with the universe. You are a part of this whole. As empaths, we have a tendency to separate ourselves from the group we came into this life to love upon. Separation is one of the most violent acts you can commit as a soul. Stop being abusive to yourself. You are not separate from everyone else. Embrace oneness with the universe. That means as you give, because your intention when you are giving is not to collect some debt, to accrue favors. That's not why you give. So if that's not why you give, there is nothing wrong with you allowing yourself to receive when people choose to give to you. There's nothing wrong with that. And as empaths, we have a tendency to really feel like, oh, no, you don't have to pay me back. That's not why I did it. Well, Maybe they're not paying you back. Maybe they're just moved within themselves to show you in some way their appreciation of you. And that could be through flowers, through candy, through monetary gifts. Allow people to do that. Allow people to love on you in whatever way they choose, unless you're a stalker. Stop making new accounts and leave me alone. All seriousness. All right. So it brings us to the final card. All of these cards talk about the illusion of how we see ourselves in our lives, the illusion we create to help other people remain entertained by us, to get other people to see us in ways that we choose. We're going beyond illusion now. We're going beyond the limits that our human mind continues to place on us. As empaths, the human mind, it works so harshly because empaths are so sensitive. And sensitivity is not a weakness. It's really not. You cannot reach higher levels of sensory perception without an increase in your sensitivity. So what ends up happening? As you reach higher levels of consciousness, you become more sensitive. And as you become more sensitive, you begin to understand what is going on with the world around you, what is going on within your micro and macro circles. Yeah, it is a gift and a blessing. It's also very painful. Being a higher level of empathy has caused so much pain, so much unnecessary withholding, so much unnecessary suffering has been chosen because my human mind has always struggled with accepting, receiving. Because as a soul, my soul understands. It understands on such an elevated level that I am to receive as much as I give. And because my human mind has been conditioned by the social programs that were created to enslave, to separate, to abuse humanity, that's a huge divide that was created between my mind and my soul. And I probably will spend the rest of my life bridging that divide. And probably by the time I finish building that bridge, that will probably be my final breath. And in that process, I will learn so much and I will serve in ways that no one else can serve because that's what I promised to do. I promised to come into this life to serve in that way. And if someone else could serve in that way, I wouldn't need to be here. This is bottom line. Because some people be, oh, that's ego. No, it's truth. We each have a different purpose. And although our purposes might lead to the same result, the path to get there is different for everyone. And if there was someone else that was going to travel the same path that I'm on and affect the same people that I affect just by existing, I wouldn't need to be here. I wouldn't need to be forced to go live. I wouldn't need to be visible, be heard, none of that. So do I need someone else's agreement or permission to exist? No. Neither do you. You don't need other people to understand. You don't need other people to agree. You don't need other people to appreciate you. You are here for a reason. So just do it. Whatever it is you're here for, just do it. If you don't know what that is, then just do you. Be you and allow yourself to continue to grow. Allow yourself to continue to be fully present as you experience these events in your life. And eventually you'll look back and you'll begin to understand. That's a process. It's just a process and that's all it is. So I got to get going. I have to teach my class. Thank you guys again for just being so supportive. Just so supportive. To those of you who were brave enough to comment or message that, you know, I shouldn't feel badly for asking for help and all of this and all of that. And that, you know, I created this community. Thank you guys so much for that reminder. I really, really needed that. I really, really needed that. It's, yeah, let me put the link for his his GoFundMe. So it's gofundme.com/fight2live BBJ. I just commented it right there, gofundme.com/fight2live BBJ. And, you know, it's just one of those things, my appreciation for all of you who are part of my life right now, who have been in the past, who will be in the future. My appreciation for you, just it deepens and ripens every day. It really does. It really, really does. I'm really coming to the realization there's no way I can walk away from you guys at this point. Because sometimes I'm like, fuck it, I'll just turn off the channel. No, you guys are family now. I mean, I think you've been family for a while, but I get closed off at times. It's scary to let people in, especially when you don't know their intentions. And this is definitely teaching me, all the people that are around, whether we speak privately or not. I've cultivated a garden that is so beautifully sacred. And I see your guys' intention is just to love me the way I love you. Thank you for that. Seriously. All right, I'm not crying today. I don't even have makeup on. I'm not crying. I love you guys. I love you guys a lot. Bye.